country like that, to see that kind of passion about the game, it'd be nice to see in Canada.
Yeah.
One day,
Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen a little bit of that craziness in Chile. I went to Colo-Colo and Universidad of Chile, which is like the biggest rivalry there.
Yeah.
And we were sitting right beside Colo-Colo's hooligans. Before halftime, they all got cleared out. They started ripping up wood, lighting it on fire, and throwing at the riot cops. Yeah. 2 cops hospitalized. By the time we left the stadium, all the staff's cars were flipped over, and it was the opposing team's stadium. To me, I couldn't tell you what happened on the field, but I remember everything that happened out in the stands. It was unreal. Yeah. It was that passion. It's unreal.
Yeah. Jordan? Live and die with their teams, right?
Oh, yeah.
In most countries around the world.
Yeah.
Jordan, it's your turn. Tell us.
Well, it's hard to disagree with Nash ever, but there's 2, as well as Guatemala with Canada under 20s. Same thing, like those guys. I remember walking out of the bus and there's like people thought I was in like Iraq. There's like AK-47s everywhere.
Yeah.
Holy crapola is like you actually like you're like okay, like these people care about soccer, football. Like they are all in. And then outside the hotel, there's stands. Like we were literally there playing. It was qualifying for under 20 World Cups, but how are this many fans care about under 20 World Cup? Yeah. You come to Canada, you go to the under 20 World Cup. It's like you walk in for $1 or $2.
Yeah, like parents and cousins and kids.
Yeah, there's a couple of teams watching the game. You go down there, it's like people outside with the AK-47. It's like this is some crazy stuff. So that's there. But the other one is Cardiff versus Swansea, which I read online was the 3rd largest rivalry ever in soccer. It doesn't matter about Central America, Africa, like anywhere. And we just moved into our new stadium from Minion Park, which is the oldest stadium in England or Welsh history, like in the English Premier League Championship history. And it was 100. I think when we moved out, it was just over 100 years old. Moving this new stadium, first game. Can't remember how many years it was. It'd be interesting to see if I Google it, how many years we played Swansea, and it was a long time because Swansea at that time, which is interesting how the clubs changed with philosophies with the clubs. They were below us. They were like League 2 when we were Championship, played them in the Cup, and after the game, probably every single toilet in the away changing room had to be changed. They ripped the toilets out of the walls. They had to shut off the water at the stadium because there's like water spraying everywhere.
Just trying to flood it.
Like, this is cool stuff. Like, yeah, like you're interested in that. And, like, both of them, like they're different. They're so different. It's like, yeah, like that's a huge rivalry. And everyone's like, they care so much about soccer. Not about the rivalry. It's like we care about soccer. Canada's here. It's under 20s. And you have armed guards at under 20s is crazy to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, very similar, and in that respect, I feel like
it's interesting. We had armed guards on our floor by the elevator of our hotel when under 20s. But we were in Honduras. We were in Tegucigalpa, and they were literally probably like 17 or 18-year-olds. They weren't like, And then you had army in the lobby of the hotel because you weren't allowed to leave. So we had a guy, quite famous, I guess, Canadian in the end, Jim Brennan, coaching the CPL. Jimmy likes to have a good time. So he had talked one of the 2 armed guards to give him the gun, right? They took the clip out and gave him the gun, right? So Jimmy's come back down the hall. Now, in Honduras at the time, the electricity, the power would go out, right? It was on and off, like 8 hours on, 3 hours off. It wasn't like consistent power.
Yeah.
But we figured out that the shaving plug in the washroom was on constantly. So we had an extension cord, we had the TV on, the whole team in the room, except for Jimmy at this time. So Jimmy gets the gun, comes down, bursts in the door, freeze! Nails the mirror off the wall, one of the long mirrors, just bumps into it, smash, everyone's diving, he's pointing a gun at us. Crazy, but, but it was, it's one of those funny moments you have in the game, but, kids, 18, 19-year-olds, don't do with their time, Just kind of one of those stories. Jimmy was always looking for a good time.
Oh, yeah.
A great guy, always looking for a good time.
Still is, that's why we'll crush him.
Yeah.
Let's stick on this topic of funniest moments in your career. Like, we've already started.
Yeah.
I want you to push the limits. Give me something.
I don't know, crazy. There's crazy moments. The funniest moment on the pitch
Doesn't matter.
had to be we're playing a reserve game with that stock. We're playing at Main Road against Man City, and it's just funny. One of those things. I remember I was out in the wing, and one of the midfielders like just passed the ball in, and it was unbelievable timing. Grocery bags comes across the pitch. Ball goes into the grocery bag, and the center back stops it. Yeah. Picks up the grocery bag now. He's not handball. He picks up the grocery bag, starts like joking around. Referee blows whistle. He's throwing on the grocery bag with the ball in it. It was like the most unbelievable timing you've ever seen.
That was good.
That was hilarious.
That's amazing.
Where was that? Main Road in Manchester. Unbelievable.
Really?
Like, we're
That
all
is
like,
awesome.
but the thought of the center back to stop the ball and then go and pick up the bag.
Take off running
and
with
it
it?
was just the referee obviously blowing the whistle. It was one of the funniest things, most unbelievable things you ever seen. Like the ball just ball, boom, right into it. You're like, how does that happen? Absolutely hilarious thing. Like on the pitch. Oh,
That's
comical.
crazy. That's good. I mean, the other one, Jimmy Brennan, that's a good story too. So you just kind of give us both.
There's a lot of good stories.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
I know. There's some that we have to we don't want to do it. We don't want to talk about anything incriminating.
Yeah.
But I know it's gonna be hard for you to keep it PG, Joe. Because
there's honestly, my best times as a player came in the academy, and because you spend so much time together, you wake up. And we're all in digs, so you wake up with 2 or 3 guys, you train together, you get to the training ground at the stadium at 8 a.m. And by the time you're sweeping the changing ground, anything, you're not getting home till 9 p.m., so you take a lot of time together. But probably the most, it's probably not PG now with we're seeing the human rights and stuff is, there's a couple, yeah. So you've had
so what can I get away with saying?
Yeah, so
just don't incriminate yourself, and the rest.
The one
is good.
that there's a couple that I love the most, and I still laugh about them today. There's probably funny. There's definitely funnier ones, more incriminating ones. The best ones today were changing ground. Our changing ground in the academy wasn't great. Is you'd have the fiberglass in the boxers, so people be out training the injured guys would go into the insulation. Like I said, not incriminating, but not the worst. When they should pull a little bit of insulation, put in your boxers, so you see the guys. They'd be out having lunch afterwards, and be they get on they couldn't sit down, it was just too itchy, and you usually sit there piss yourself because you're injured, in the gym or recovery, and you're sitting there like this, they itch themselves, and they come the next day oh boys, I had some and they pull off their clothes, you're all getting changed yet, their whole body, they go from itching their boxers to their chest, and their whole body be red. That was one of the funnest times. The second one, that's great though. Not incriminating. It's not incriminating at all. It's definitely against. I think that's probably against human rights nowadays. People no, you can't do that stuff.
Sort
That's
of
kind of stuff
backdrop,
that's just boys will be boys. This is the
boys
stuff
will be
that you just
boys.
expect the shit to
The
happen.
second one was because as people, I don't think people in Canada, and it's a big learning curve, is the competitiveness of we're either here or in a pro environment. And in youth sports here, it's not all about teams and going in tournaments and whatever, but and trialists would come in, or a new player would get transferred, even pros would get transferred, even in the pro changing room. Everyone's upstairs having breakfast video, not pointing fingers and names of who it was. Come down for training, your first day training, you have no laces on your boots, they were cut down the middle, so you can't even relace your boots. You're sitting there trying to ask other people for boots to go to train, no man, you don't have any boots for you. And so you go your first day training for every single new player would be no laces. So you're striking the ball, your boot would be flying farther than the ball and stuff like
Extra
that.
cardio.
That's that was funny stuff too. And yeah, there's tons. Even in the showers after training, there's the shampoo trick. No one does that stuff here. It's you're sitting there with a new player, washing your hair, and someone just sitting over top of you putting shampoo on your hair. So you're washing, you'd go out and there'd be soap dripping down your face. You go back in, someone's still standing in the shower with shampoo, you're washing down your face. You're showered 2.5 hours long trying to get the shampoo off yourself.
Yeah.
But there's as an academy, it's different than a pro environment in an academy as well. You're always together.
Yeah. Just messing about. You're all day cleaning, doing stuff, and you
gotta find that happy that
16-year-old boys when you get to know good.
Yeah. So there's too many. I feel like those are the most PG ones to be like, they're funny. Like, if you go out and like you're in Canada, and like I think it'll change now though with like MLS even, and CPL. Like, I really hope like someone comes to like our office as a coach, as a young player, and be like, Coach, I have no laces.
Yeah.
Get out there.
Deal with it. Yeah, you have to deal with that stuff, right? Like,
the thing is, I think now it's a little different because guys get mad and like throw a fit and leave.
Yeah.
But back then, you're just like, well, you want to play or no?
Yeah,
there's to get out there.
I've read so
they have
many.
boots now. You don't even need laces.
That's true. That's true.
That's unbelievable. There's just so many stories that you hear. I read them online all the time. Like, I try to keep up to date as much as I can. I text my mates over in England, and it's like, it still happens. And the thing is, if you throw a fit in today's environment, it gets worse.
Yeah, the players, everybody will deal with it.
Like, that's why, like, you have something in your boxers. They'd be like 3 weeks because you're like people are injured all the time. Like, you deal with it, and you oh, like, lads, like, that's not funny. Like, oh, my chest and like my.
The more you bitch, the more you get,
and all that. Yeah, like.
That's stuff that makes you. It kind of toughens you up a little bit, though. I mean, knowing you got to deal with that kind of makes you know.
Which is like goes back to like the start of our conversation. Like, when you move away from home, if you came, and I still feel like it doesn't matter what the environment is. If I was in Canada and I came home, my chest was all red and like my legs were all red, and I was like, oh, like, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm itching my balls and stuff. And my mom's like. She'd go to the club and be like, what's happening? Like, this is not acceptable.
Who did this to my
Whereas
son?
over there, like, I'm not telling my mom, like, oh, my chest is all red. She'd be like, what were you doing over there? That's not cool. Like, sort yourself out. Right? Like, it's a different environment.
It's different at that age. Like, when I first signed to Stockport, a lot of pros didn't live nearby, so I went out with the youth team guys, right? And they're all going out to the nightclubs, right? At 16, 15, they're going to the nightclubs. So, it's just a different kind of society, different environment. They grew up a lot. They were a lot more streetwise, And like, I mean, my first second night at the club, I had to borrow you had to wear a collared shirt and dress pants to get in the nightclub. So I had to borrow a shirt, and I've gone in. We all having drinks, and some guy still visiting me and walks diagonally down the stairs and bumps into me, and I'm like, whatever. And I was like, next thing I know, I've been jumped by 3 guys. I'm bleeding everywhere. But drunk enough that it doesn't even faze me. I walk up the stairs, I come back to the youth team guys are all sitting there and they're like, what happened to you? And I was like, some guy who's wearing this jumped me. They all bugger off. And I'm like, they're like, just stay here and bugger off. And I'm sitting with some of the girls they're with. They go downstairs and beat the crap out of these guys because there's 15 of them. So I come in, I had stitches over my left eye, I think, and I come in the club on Monday, and I get called into the treatment room. And I'm like just some innocent kid, didn't realize, Canadian. And so you got the club captain, the coaching staff, the physio, they're all in this room, and I'm like, walk in, and they're like, "What's happened to you?" So I tell them the story. And I'm like, and I tell all the youth team guys and whatever. So I leave the room, and they all walk into the youth team locker room. And I'm thinking, I've just thrown them in it. Right? Those guys are going to kill me when I walk out. So the first team walk out, and I'm leaving for training, because it's before training on Monday morning. And I walk by the room, and I'm like, oh, God. So I kind of go in, I'm like, I'm about to say sorry, guys. And they're all giving me a hug. Because the manager said, that's what you do. You stand up for your teammates. And I was like, oh, they're like, I was a hero. It's just
that's awesome.
Different. It's just, different part of the world. Just different. It was a great learning experience.
Big time.
But you grow up, because I was probably 18 at the time. You grow up fast. And you learn a different side of life. And it was great for me in my life. And I'm sure it was great for you in your life. You miss out on some things, but you gain others. So it's part of life to do what you love.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going through it now. I was actually texting my buddies earlier, saying to you, like, they're talking about, like, we're going to our bachelor party next week for one of my buddies. Like, I don't
Make
know.
sure your girlfriend doesn't watch this one.
Yeah, no, she's fine. She loves this stuff.
Yeah, right. He's like, we're just going for a little trip.
Yeah.
I told her I was going to the pub today, so she doesn't know about this. But no, like, there's like, you miss out. Like, you actually miss out on a hell of a lot of years when you're in it. It's like, you don't realize that you're in with soccer. You're like, even now, my best friend grew up with him for 27, so probably 23, 24 years, getting married in the summer. It's like, don't book your wedding on these days. Like, in a professional environment, you can't like phone your coach. In a normal job, my girlfriend as well.
Take time off.
You can't be like, hey, I'm missing this week because I'm going away. It's like, no.
Yeah.
You get time off for a reason in off season.
When you're off,
do your thing.
right? Like it's different life.
I had 6 really close friends. I made 1 wedding.
Yeah. Like you don't have time for that kind of stuff.
I guess that's kind of like the bad side of it is you have to consume yourself so much by.
And a lot of people miss the importance of like
kids being born, even like
that's
stories
a tough
that feel
thing,
like
though, but you think about it.
I missed my son, my first born. You know, it just
you have no time and
things happen. It's like, hey, you know, it's nowadays it's less so. They're like people are more understanding. Oh, you're having a kid? Yeah, go away. You know,
take a couple days or whatever.
Yeah, take a couple days.
Back
then it was like, what do you mean? Yeah, you'll see him next day. You'll see him tomorrow. You know, get on the pitch.
Paul Pogba though, he ain't having a kid on a Saturday afternoon, and he's gonna go to his like.
Well, his kid was he just had, didn't he? Or did just found out? Or no? Did he just?
I don't watch crap teams. I watch good managers.
You said you don't watch crap teams, but
no,
you watch
I'm trying
I was just about to say.
You know, like it's tough. So
man, shitty. What?
It's not. Yeah.
We don't have time for a lot of it, so it's. Honestly, like it's really good to be. I grew up in the atmosphere. Martin had a way longer career than I did. I had a lot of things that came into it that I didn't have a longer career, so it's good to get like his point of view of it and like what he went through, and even now with my best friend getting married, it's like you're trying to go through it all. I'm still 27. I have a very, very short career.
Really? You took the hat off. I thought you were a lot older.
Yeah, and that's why I have it on.
Just that's
we don't need two bald people as table. I don't need to spend the whole time. But no, it is tough. It is tough, and it's good to have people around you that have been in the game.
Yeah.
Because I think even now, like you look at the coaches, there's not a lot of new coaches who've been in the game. Like, right? It's a lot of analysts or people who played semi-pro. And playing semi-pro, it's like playing AMSL in Calgary, and now you go to coach like a CPL team. There's a big gap. Yeah. So to have people around you that have been in the game and know the experiences, it's good to talk to for sure.